Basically, just like you're saying, the challenges. Yes, we all need that challenge to become more aware, or we stay in the old routines, unconscious. And the idea of them asking you, that's the second part, okay, to sing. Well, most people are not going to get up and sing. Well, the idea is there's an old saying, and you see it in the old gangster movies. Start singing, okay? So in other words, it's an old saying that the gangsters say to somebody, or the police say to the gangsters when they've captured them and they're interrogating them, they say, start singing. So this is the whole idea, and most people won't get up and sing in front of the audience. In other words, the idea is start telling the audience what's going on, start telling other people what's going on, start singing. See, it goes off of old sayings that we know, but we really don't pay attention to or relate to. So there's the idea, and yes, you need the challenges. And like you're saying, to do this or whatever, what you're asked, it's your assignment to do this. Well, yeah, it's a challenge. You don't think, it took me almost 2 years to figure out how to write like I used to go out in the public and speak. For me, the speaking was simple. I really liked it. And it took me years to get used to that because I was very nervous out there, but I kept pushing it. And that was a big challenge for me because I didn't like getting up in front of people. I remember when I was in the 3rd and 4th grade, we had to get up on stage in an auditorium and say our part for something that we, some part of history or something or whatever several times, or standing up in the classroom, etc. These were hard times, but little by little, I did it. I just kept pushing myself to where I did it. And just like this here, speaking here, to the world, and that's what I'm doing. I have meetings with so-called government leaders, etc., all the time here and on the real side. And who else is going to do it? Yeah, most people won't. And besides, they don't know what to do. They can talk. A lot of people can talk. They don't really know the playing board. They don't know how to maneuver on the playing board, etc. So it is a big chess game. And yes, you need the challenge. You need to step up. You need to be afraid. You need to do it. It's going to bother you. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to cry sometimes. You need to go through all that. I went through it many, many times. I've cried many times over the years simply because, I want to do certain things and I want to do more. And it's like I'm held back and I don't like it. And so I continually want to do more. They don't have to ask me because I'll do everything. And those that leave and come here, anybody that's come here like Ava or anybody else, their whole life has changed for the better. It always gets better, not worse. So when you leave the old routines, it gets better. But the mind is thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss all this stuff. I need all this stuff, whatever. You really don't. You just think that you do. So again, we are people on the earth. We're individuals. We're having our experience. And just like in Jeremy's experience that he shared, yes, it's very important. Each person step forward. Stop just sitting there and saying nothing. And bring something forward that makes sense, not just a lot of words and blabber. There's a difference. It's time to get real. Step up and say something. Stop being afraid. And when you are afraid, say it anyhow. Say something real that makes sense, etc. And not just reporting the boring news and what the cabal is doing, this or that, or the chemtrails or whatever. We know about that. What we're looking for is people to be creative. That's what the real guys are looking for, is people to step up and be creative as to how to present something real to those to wake up, because this is what it's all about. The idea is that when they ask you to do something, or they'll say it's your assignment, they actually intimidate you a little bit because you came here to wake up. What they're saying is that this is for you. But you're thinking that, I have to do it for them. You see, it's getting you out of yourself, but it's actually for you when you do it for them. That's how it works. And until you do that, just like a mother raising a child, she's not doing it for herself, she's doing it for the children. And this is the idea of the birth and the children here, is to learn to do it for others, and then eventually they learn to do it from you. Look at how much a mother learns from her children. It's huge. Yes, it's huge. And it's more than that, more than just the one-dimensional experience that people think, is the love and emotion, but multidimensional. And this is how I raised the daughter to do that, to be more than what she thinks of herself as. And so again, this is what we've been discussing for years and years and years. And see how long it takes to get it through to people? So ask yourself and look at yourself every day, every moment. What are you doing? Where's your intent? Etc. Is your personal life so important? Or it's like you're too old and I can't walk, I can't do this. It's all the can'ts. Just do something. Because otherwise you got nothing. If I didn't do any of this, there wouldn't be nothing. There wouldn't be no new presentation. You wouldn't be here. That's real. If Paul didn't do what he did, took the risk and went through all the hell and heartaches, this wouldn't exist. That's real. That's how real it is. Get that across to that personal self. Wake up. It's very, very important for you. Show up, wake up. Very fortunate that we have the Skypes here every day. Postpone those little family meetings where you got to be with the family for 24 hours a day, where you got to go to some funeral or some freaking wedding or something like that. What's more important? Real survival, your life, or some duh thing where you're eating chocolate cake that's going to give you diarrhea? And what's the other disease? Anyhow?
Diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah, etc. Yeah. So everybody loves those little parties. They're like an excuse. Oh, I have to go to my friend's funeral. Well, your friend is gone. He's fine. You have the knowledge of that already. Why in the heck do you have to go? And so there was a lady that was going to stay at our house in Huntington Beach, but as soon as she got there, and I paid her way, and I bought her a little computer, etc., and because the ECHIS were attacking her, and she had been in Eckankar, so I took the risk, I gave her a chance. As she came here, she was kind of dumb, but I went through it. Then all of a sudden she goes, well, I got to fly back to Chicago and go to a funeral. Right there was the red flag. It's like, okay, lady, well, there ain't going to be no place for you here when you come back, because if you think that's so important, and here I had talked to her for several days. She was whining and crying, oh, help me get out of here. I don't have the money to get out of here, and these ECHIS are attacking me and whatever. So I helped her out, but at the same time, now she's got to go to some funeral in Chicago. She's got money to do that, to fly back there and whatever. So it's like, bye. That was it. Bye-bye. You want to do that stuff, bye-bye. Now you got to paddle back and figure it out. And that's real. Yeah, so I went through the same thing. I stepped back from the rod of power after a year because it just didn't seem like it was going anywhere, because I was going through my transition. Well, I went through a hell of a lot for 3 years and then came back in, and the boys, said, okay, let's see what you can do. And so, yeah, I had to crawl and figure all this out, and here we are. But I had to do all this by myself. And so the thing being is that, yeah, it's a huge challenge, but I love the challenges. That's why I'm facing the governments of the world. They want to get rid of me, but that's fine. If I'm to be gone, I'm to be gone. But I'm stepping up. And yeah, the little self is nervous at times and whatever. But at the same time, I like being creative. And as the more people come into these groups, this reinforces what we're doing. And there's more people out there doing the NUUU, etc., and on the real side. And this is proven by the experiences of many that step up, Kevin, Jeremy, and others, etc., that share this. And so this is very, very important. This is your life. You don't have a life here. You only think you do, and it's passing very fast. And all you're doing is growing old. That is not a life. Your real life is your awareness and learning to recognize that. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped into the personal self again. That's real. That's how real it gets. So no little guru or master or spiritual path and old wisdom is going to do it for you. No, we went through that schooling. It's not going to work. It's real now. And that's the best part. So you become awake and self-sufficient and constantly become more aware. Here it is, right here. You don't have to look anywhere else. You don't have to look to these other psychics and whatever. Yeah, you get ideas from them. But are they focused on the isness life is? No, they don't know. And again, I've said I've seen many seers. And yeah, they're with Rebazar and whatever. I've known psychics and that know them. They don't recognize them. Not truly. They don't recognize what's going on. They're hanging around. They've got a lot of interesting information. But what are they really doing? Yeah. What is it that you do and step up and do? So all of that is for you. It's all for you, so you're okay. Because you don't see it, you and others, you're not okay. You got a lot to go through. You got to figure it out so that you're okay and you can survive this. It's for you. And that really goes for everybody. You're to let everybody know. Everybody has an assignment, you might say. They came here to do it. Get going. And just like, we heard on the Skype the other day from an individual, Paul came to him personally, taking things for granted, etc. It's not getting on the chessboard. And it's like, when are you going to get on the ball? When are you going to do something? And usually the excuse is, oh, well, I don't do that. I've never done it before. It's time to stop being duh. Wake up. This is what we're doing. The world is dying. Get going. That's real. Yes. And that's the best part. The guides are there with you, but you got to take the risk. You got to step up and quit being duh. Yeah, everybody. That's just very, very real. So this is how it is. And that's what I am doing here. And those people that come here, yeah, I'm going to be funny at times because this is what we're doing. It's not La La Land. We're not babysitters. No, that's not the idea. And even Paul stated it at one time. He said, this is not a social welfare program that I've created. Paul stated that in those days because that's what people thought it was. It's like, well, the master will just do it for us. Here we are. We pay our dues. Duh. That's not the idea. The idea is wake up and get out of high school. Leave all those high school attitudes back there. How old are you now? Look at your age. Yeah, etc. Act your age. That's an old saying. Yeah, you're not 15 anymore. You're not 14. You can do things. Do it. Get up, get tired, get worn out, get hurt, cry, whatever. These little love affairs that we have here. Well, that's what you've went through for lifetimes, and it's all baloney. We're all beings here. We're all awesome beings, and I like to see people get real because it's for you. You don't want to stay a baby brain. You want to be okay. Otherwise, you're not going to make it through this. So this is the training. So you're okay. So you're tough, and you can do it.